This episode of To the Journey is brought to you by Audible.com, offering more than 180,000 titles for smartphone, tablet, and desktop. To get a free audiobook of your choice and help Trek.fm at the same time, visit audibletrial.com/TrekFM. And also by Enterprise in Space, an international program of the nonprofit National Space Society. Find out how you can help science and education, and become a virtual crew member aboard the NSS Enterprise Orbiter by visiting enterpriseinspace.org. And if you want to join the conversation and share your thoughts on this episode, join the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook. Just type BABEL into the Facebook search field. We look forward to seeing you there.
This is Robert Picardo, the emergency medical hologram from Star Trek Voyager, and you're listening to Trek FM.
I think it's safe to say that no one on this crew has been more obsessed with getting home than I have. But when I think about everything we've been through together, maybe it's not the destination that matters. Maybe it's the journey. And if that journey takes a little longer, so we can do something we all believe in, I can't think of any place I'd rather be, or any people I'd rather be with. To the journey. You're here. To the journey.
Hello everybody and welcome. This is To the Journey. I am your co-host Liam Smart, and with me as always is...
Suzanne Williamson.
Hello Suzanne, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Liam. How are you?
I'm alright. I have a pretty bad hangover. So I've got my hangover voice on, and I have a headache, and I should not have drunk like a bottle and a half of red wine last night. Not a good thing.
I would have liked to have had some red wine, but I am currently out.
Oh, well, perhaps you need to get yourself some more. Oh, sorry, I drank your whole supply. I think it's because, I haven't been out in a while because of all the restrictions, etc. So in South Australia, restrictions are really coming off now. We haven't had any issues with COVID for, I think it's almost like 50 days now or something.
Nice.
So, yeah, things are accelerating in Victoria again, but that's over the border. So our state borders are shut. So, yeah, so we can all go out and pretty much do whatever we want now, with obvious social distancing still there. But I think I just haven't had alcohol in a while, so my tolerance level is a lot lower. That and a bottle and a half of red wine is pretty bad.
That's a lot, yes.
Yeah. But had a lot of fun, so that's what matters.
Yes, it is. And of course, because we can't follow directions here in the States, we have more states closing down again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty stupid.
Because we opened too soon. And people just can't figure out to stay away from each other and wear masks. Wear a mask, people. Come on now.
I have this beautiful face mask right here, Suzanne. It's a bamboo charcoal sheet mask.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I feel like I want to put it on my face right now.
Well, I almost showed up with my logical one with Spock on it.
Oh, really?
It says logical and Spock. But then I also have a Pinky and the Brain one.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have a brain one and then I have a pinky one.
Now, Suzanne, before we get into today's episode, we have news, which was already leaked on the Babel conference by Chris Jones, but we thought we wanted to tell our listeners properly.
Yes, we wanted to tell you ourselves that we are going to be leaving To the Journey.
Yes.
But it's not a sad thing.
It's not. No, it's a very exciting thing for many, many, many reasons.
Yes.
So we are leaving Trek FM, which means Suzanne and I are leaving To the Journey, but we're moving to a new network hosted by the wonderful Tony Black of the We Made This podcast network. He's opening up a subsidiary called We Made Treks, of which is going to have many, many Star Trek podcasts, of which we are one of them.
So many Star Trek podcasts.
Been working on the artwork at the moment. Obviously, by the time this airs, this will be out. like all the shows will be out, but we're doing a Star Trek Voyager podcast over there. And what is that called, Suzanne?
It is called The Janeway.
And why is it called The Janeway?
Because when it comes to making decisions, there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Janeway.
And we all know the Janeway is the best way.
It's the only way in my
mind. It is the only way. So yeah, we're very excited. I know I've only been on this show for about 12, 15 episodes. I don't really know. But Suzanne, you've been on it a lot longer, so you've got a lot more of a following. Yes. So did you want to say anything?
Following.
Well, I mean, nobody listens to my drivel, let's face it.
No one's listening to me. That's for sure. They're like, oh, she's talking about Chakotay again.
It's like, oh. Well, we'll be talking about Chakotay over on The Janeway.
Woohoo! I just hope that our listeners will come and give us a try over in that network, because we'd love to have you over there. And while you're there, please check out all of the other amazing shows that we have.
There will be a Deep Space Nine podcast that will actually be coming out. There is a Picard one. There is a Discovery one. There is a Strange New Worlds one, isn't there?
There is?
There is. Who's the host of that?
Oh, I think it's Brandy.
Brandy? Oh, Brandy is awesome. Has she got a co-host?
Is. I think she does. There's a rumor that it was me.
Oh, and that rumor is totally true.
It's 100% true. I can't wait to do that show with Brandy. It's going to be so much fun.
So that one is called Boldly Go.
Yes, Boldly Go.
So, yep. And then there is podcasts for enterprise. There's podcast for socio-economic and political things. There is podcast for
Trek Online.
Star
for all
Trek
you
Online.
Gamers out there.
There will be podcasts for community discussion. There's just so many. So, urge you all to join We Made Treks and the... What's it called? It's called The Nexus, isn't it, at the moment?
Yes,
I don't know.
The listeners group is called The Nexus on Facebook.
Yep. So it'll be an open, inclusive Facebook group, similar to the Babel Conference, but called The Nexus. Suzanne, you came up with this week's topic. What are we doing? And by week, I mean fortnight, or whatever kind of format we're doing. I don't know anymore.
For this episode, I came up with the idea of, from each season, you can only watch one episode. So which episode are you going to be watching if you can only watch one? So
is this just going to be, it's not going to be our favourite from each season?
No.
I'm guessing? No, good, because I haven't done my favourites. I've done ones that you just have to watch because they're, Voyager.
Yes.
And
yes, because they encompass everything that Voyager is in one episode.
Why don't, Suzanne, you kick us off with what is your do not miss this season 1 episode? And I'm going to guess that we are not going to agree on a lot of these.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Now, there are some where I came up with alternative picks.
Oh, I haven't.
Because I was like, I like this one, but I also like this one.
Yeah, I had a very big difficulties in doing season 5 and 6.
Oh, season 3, 4, and 5, I could not narrow it down to one because it was insane. Yeah.
All right, fire away.
Okay, for season 1, I have to go with Eye of the Needle.
Oh, okay. Why? Because this is not what I chose. I chose Faces. So tell me why it should be
Faces was my alternate.
Tell me why it should be Eye of the Needle over Faces.
Because that's our first glimmer of hope that we might find something along the way that's going to get this crew home.
Mm-hmm.
And I get some Romulans in there because, man, I do love Romulans.
Don't you think, though, objectively it's a good episode, but don't you think it's a little bit obvious that they're not going to be able to make it home? Because, it's like season 1, episode 6 or something like that. Episode 7, yeah. And they're like... Oh, look, we can get home to the Alpha Quadrant. Oh, Star Trek Voyager's done.
Show's over.
So, don't you think it was a bit obvious what was going to happen?
It was, but their twist on the obvious was cool. having him be from the past, because that I was not expecting.
Yeah,
Him be from
okay.
the past, because that I was not expecting.
That was a pretty neat little idea. I'll give that for cool little Star Trek storylines. And the fact that he died before the message could be done, I suppose it was heartbreaking for the crew.
It was heartbreaking for me. I'm like, oh no, why didn't he leave it in a will? Somebody deliver this.
He probably forgot. He probably had like Romulan memory issues.
Alzheimer's.
Romulan Alzheimer's. Oh wow. So, see, I went with Faces because it's a great character episode, and it shows Roxanne Dawson playing both B'Elanas completely differently, and she was amazing in it. And it's got such a Star Trek message in that even if you don't like part of you, that part of you makes up who you are. Mm-hmm. You know, and then I think there's obviously some stereotype and racial undertones to it as well.
Oh, definitely. The way that Klingons are seen and portrayed.
Yeah. But seeing B'Elana accept her Klingon side as much as she can. I mean, obviously she doesn't fully accept it, and she's always going to be in turmoil with it. She's realised that Klingon side helps her be who she is.
She can't survive without her Klingon side.
Exactly. And then the fact that the makeup is so good in this episode. The Vidian wearing Durst's face. Oh,
I love that. It's so creepy cool.
It is. And the Vidians are amazing. So they're probably one of my favourites alien species in all of Star Trek. The whole idea of them. That's sort of why I went for Faces. Mm-hmm. But Eye of the Needle or Faces. I mean, we have to choose. We have to choose between them.
You can have yours and I can have mine.
No. I want to come down with a definitive list between the two of us.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Well, no, because we're not even...
Bit of arguments.
We're going to have to, come to blows about things, and we're not even in the same country. Well, so I can't show up at your door and, sock you in the jaw for making the wrong choice.
Oh, it's the wrong choice, is it? It is totally not the wrong choice. I do get what you mean, though, because Eye of the Needle is a glimmer of hope episode. I'm a bit erring on the side of saying I will secede. Is that the word? I don't know. I will.
I was actually going to say, since I did have Faces down as my alternate, I'm going to agree. You're going to yield.
You're going to agree with Faces.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that wasn't hard, was it? Agreeing with me. I mean, I'm always right.
Just remember that when we get to the fight, okay?
We are not choosing the fight.
Okay. Well, what did you come up with for season 2?
I feel like this episode is a bit of a cop-out because it's one of the best Voyager episodes in total, like overall. And I chose Deadlock.
Okay.
I mean, it's an absolutely smashing show with technobabble and people dying but not dying and spatial scissors or whatever it's called.
Spatial scission.
Yeah, well, I'll call it scissors. Have my spatial scissors. And
I
just
need to
the
get mine
Star Trek
sharpened.
science. And I mean, you just sharpen my spatial scissors. I mean, Harry dies in this for the second time. I think this is he died. I mean, he died in Emanations and came back to life, and he's died in here. But it was also gut punching because obviously Samantha Wildman lost baby Naomi in the first go round, and then obviously she has been taken through the time rift or whatever it was called. And there's Vidians in this episode. More Vidians destroying things. And then you get Janeway calmly sitting on the bridge going, "Welcome to the bridge." I mean, I paraphrase. And then she just blows it up.
Using her command code, Janeway Pi 110.
Janeway Pi 110. See? And again, it's done the Janeway. So I think this is probably one of the best episodes in season 2 because it's got the science, it's got the fake Star Trek science, it's got the spatial, some sort of anomaly, it's got death, it's got reset button, it's got scissors.
Scissors.
What about you? What have you chosen?
I went with Meld.
Interesting.
And I blame Brad Dourif totally and completely because I am enamored by that man. I always have been. I always will be. He is amazing in everything he does.
Do you know what? Lon Suda, I wish he was on the show for a little bit longer.
Me too.
That's a episode that actually introduces a character before they're actually really useful. And, you know what I mean? It's not just like, look, here's a character this episode is going to save the day. So obviously when he was like saving the day in Basics,
Yes.
like we already had an idea of what that character was like. And that is a pretty good episode.
And it's also one of the first times we see Tuvok push towards the edge of his Vulcan composure.
Yeah.
Because of the results of that mind meld that he did with Suter.
Tuvok in this, though, that's a very stereotypical like Vulcan storyline. I'm going to be pushed to the edge of my emotions and my sanity, etc. But I think what goes on with, Suda, the Betazoid dude, is almost tipping me over the edge for agreeing with you. But what other reasons do you have for it, though?
Oh, see, I didn't know we were going to be doing this.
Neither did I.
Duel.
Neither did I until right when I said it.
Okay, let me think of another one. Because, Meld is just freaking amazing.
I mean, Brad Dourif's eyes as a Betazoid.
Brad Dourif, just anything Brad Dourif. His voice. He was Chucky, come on. Well, Suter shows us our first glimpse at a Betazoid who is not quite like the others. Every other Betazoid we've seen up to this point has been, Deanna Troi, Loxana Troi, just amiable. He's out murdering crewmen.
He's taken that empathy to a different level. I suppose it is good to see a Betazoid that's got psycho or sociopathic
He's
tendencies.
a sociopath. Yeah.
I don't know what word I used. It might have been that. I can't remember. But it's a very good character study of a alien species that we know and have known a lot about that is different, and it shows a little bit more depth to Betazoids. Yeah,
they're not just one-dimensional chocolate lovers.
Or hornbags.
Poor Loxana.
I love Loxana.
I love her too.
Oh, I'm going to agree with you. Actually, we're not going to come to blows over this. I'm going to yield to Meld, even though Deadlock is full of action. I'll go for Meld. I'm getting my pen and I'm writing it down because if we're only allowed 7 episodes,
oh my goodness,
these aren't necessarily the strongest episodes though that everyone loves.
I guess that brings us to season 3.
It does. Now, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? You go first. Season 3, this is where it starts getting difficult because there are a lot of meh episodes in season 1 and 2, but season 3 is where it starts kicking off.
Yeah, it gets good. Yeah, you probably didn't pick this one, and it'll kill me to see it go.
It depends.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go for worst case scenario. Why?
Oh, because I get my Seska.
No, I'm not saying that it's bad, but a bit of Seska's good.
I mean, you're here, you are in your mind, she's dead, we're never going to see her again, and boom, up she pops with this holodeck program.
It's like, honey, remember me? Oh, it is a good episode. Have a guess which one I chose.
Warlord.
No, actually, no. I went for Distant Origin.
Oh, really?
Because I love me dinosaurs. Dinosaurs in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Space dinosaurs.
Space dinos, yes.
I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it is space dinosaurs.
Space dinosaurs.
But I suppose if you look at it objectively, like there's the whole thing about doctrine and heresy and all of that shows that it's almost like science against religion in a way.
It is, yeah.
And that as a storyline is pretty cool. With space dinosaurs.
Yeah, even though that's a Chakotay heavy episode, I've just never really...
You've never really gone for it?
Been into that one.
No. But space dinosaurs, Suzanne.
But Seska.
Oh, can we have Seska dressed up as a Voth?
Seska Space Dinosaur.
Seska Space Dinosaur Seska. See, I mean, Seska played, obviously, the Romulan in Deep Space Nine, and Jordan's like, is that Seska? And she's like, I thought she was a Bajoran or a Cardassian. Why is she a Romulan? And I'm like, no one knows what Seska is. Also, that's not technically Seska. It's just Martha
She was
Hackett.
also a high school teacher in Clueless.
Oh, I mean, that's probably the best role she's ever had. No.
No.
I'm going to... Because I didn't have Deadlocked, my super powerful action show, I'm going to go worst case scenario then. Just so we can have a little bit of action. Yeah, I mean...
And a little bit of Chakotay in his Maquis leather.
Oh, that's the sole reason you chose it, wasn't it?
No, Seska.
Yeah, no. Martha, it's such a shame she got kicked off the show with the Kazons. Yeah. But, all right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to write it down, Suzanne. I'm going to put worst case scenario on it. But I'm just going to put WCS because I'm not writing it all. But now I don't even know. Anyway, that's done. We didn't have much blows over that, even though Distant Origin is a great episode.
It's got Chakotay.
I'm surprised he didn't say favourite son.
Oh, it was really hard not to.
Oh, no. Actually, do you know what I was really honestly looking at as a serious contender for this was Rise. The one with
really?
Tuvok and Neelix in an elevator or something like that.
Yeah, my serious contender was Future's End.
Of course it was. I just didn't see Future's End as a necessary one.
It's necessary for the Doctor.
Oh, true. Yeah, okay.
Or else he's stuck in sickbay forever.
True. But nah, we'll go with worst case scenario.
Yes.
I feel like I'm going to lose out with what season 4 is going to be.
I did not go with what you probably think that I would have gone with.
There is so many. Okay, I just want to point out here the episodes that I wanted to choose. Mm-hmm. All right. Scorpion, mm-hmm. Gift, Scientific mm-hmm. Method, Year of Hell, mm-hmm. Mortal Coil, Message in a Bottle. No, Message in a Bottle? Yeah, Message in a Bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hunters, Prey, Killing Game, Omega Directive, Living Witness, Demon. Like,
yes,
all of these.
So many.
Are all wow. But I went for The Gift.
You went for The Gift.
Mm-hmm. Because The Gift is Kess's leaving thing, and I do love Kess. And it's and I say it time and again, absolute travesty that we lost her.
It is.
It also does show 7 of 9 starting to come on board and that kind of storyline. But it's also got a little bit of action. And if we have to say goodbye to Kess, I want to have that on our 7 episodes.
Which means I don't get the Killing Game.
Oh, but I really want the Killing Game.
And I love the Killing Game.
Oh.
I mean, I love the Killing Game.
Oh.
If nothing else but for Klingon Janeway.
For God's sake, Klingon Janeway.
Come on, Klingon Janeway is amazing.
I mean, yes, she is. Oh, I just don't know. The Killing Game is so good. Oh,
Let's
Suzanne. Okay, why the Killing Game? Tell me about the Killing Game. Why do we want that?
Besides Klingon Janeway?
Other than Klingon Janeway. Convince me why I should go for Killing Game.
Seeing our favorite characters playing other characters. I mean, Captain Janeway's Katrine. Resistance fighter, just trying to protect her people. That's and Chakotay is Captain Miller, leading the boys in to save the day.
7 of 9 singing.
Oh, exquisitely dressed in that just and her hair. And then when she's with Neelix and they're running from the Nazis, just so much about that episode. And Janeway trying to find a common ground with the Hirogen and realizing that neither side can win.
Was she trying to find common ground with Hirogen?
She was trying to find something to get the fighting to stop.
Oh, that's
so
right.
She finally realized
when they realized that they went, yes.
Yeah, when she woke up and knew who she was, and just passing on the holodeck information.
Yeah.
Here. If nothing else, hang it on your wall.
There is an attractive Hirogen in this episode too. So.
I thought he was just a holodeck character.
I can't remember which one it was, but there is an attractive Hirogen. But Oh, but the gift is just so nice, and you got Kess's face when she leaves. She's just like smiling as she explodes into Kess energy.
I think I could easily pick the gift if they hadn't brought her back.
What, really? You're going to put Fury as the reason to not have gift? Really?
Well, yes, they shouldn't have done Fury at all. That was such a disservice to the character and the way she said goodbye.
Oh, but Fury... Yeah, I get it, but Kess...
And the Killing Game sets up a really good episode later on.
Oh,
where Janeway sees the consequences for what she did.
When she's done something the Janeway, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Okay. Oh, but... Oh,
Is it going to make you cry?
No, I'm not going to cry. I'm too hungover to cry. I think... Oh...
Okay, make your plea for the gift. Tell me why.
It's just so sad. Like, Kess is just evolving into some her higher energy or a higher plane of being, and she doesn't get to say goodbye to the crew, but there's just seeing her move on. I mean, there's a lot of meh in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm just saying that I think I can't make a case for it other than saying that Kess is leaving, really. So I think I just have too much emotion attached to that episode. So perhaps I'll bow down to the Killing Game. I will bow down. I think you're winning out of these so far.
Bow down. Kneel before Zod.
I mean, sure, fine, but I better get one of my own episodes coming up soon.
Okay, as long as it's not season 6 or 7.
I don't know.
Because I will fight somebody about at least season 7.
Oh, I can't remember what I chose. What did I choose? Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose out on that.
Okay.
But, alright. Fine. Season 5. State your case. State your case.
State my case. My case would be for Course Oblivion.
Oh, gosh, that was not what I was expecting you to come up with.
What did you expect me to say?
I actually thought you were going to go for the fight because, a bit of Chakotay. But then I also thought Bride Chaotica would come out of your mouth and counterpoint.
No, definitely not counterpoint.
I went with Relativity.
Oh, yeah.
So, state your case. Why Course Oblivion? Oh, God, now I want Course Oblivion.
I like Course Oblivion.
Because I don't care if you like it.
It's a story from Bryan Fuller, who is... I love him.
Mm-hmm,
I love Bryan Fuller so much. But we get to see the actual marriage of Torres and Paris, even though we eventually find out it's not our Torres and Paris. Mm-hmm. It's a Torres and Paris, but it's not ours.
It's a silver goo one.
Yes. So we see what happens when Captain Janeway lets the crew be replicated by goo on a planet.
Another bad decision, potentially, yes.
They start to make their way home because they think they're the real people and then start to disintegrate.
Yeah, but that's the plot.
Yeah.
It does make you feel sad, though, doesn't it? When you see them and they're like, oh, they just need to try and get to the actual crew, and they just can't.
No, the sad part for me is when they send off that little buoy and then the crew comes upon it and there's nothing left.
Oh,
it's like they didn't know that their replicants beat them to that point. And I really want to know how they got there faster.
Well, they probably didn't stop at all the other planets that they seem to. But... okay, so tell me why... Okay, I went with Relativity because it's a time one, jumping backwards and forwards in time.
It all gives me a headache.
The temporal time directive. Exactly. You got 7 of 9, jumping backwards and forwards in time. You're going to see other parts of the show. Did we see other bits of the show in Relativity, or was that just...
We got to see the ship when it was, before it was launched.
That's right, yeah. And so jumping back to the other bits of the show, I don't know, it's just a cool little Star Trek episode with fake science again, and yeah, it's just a Star Trek show. There's no actual meaning to the episode, though, I don't believe, other than don't screw with time. Well,
we learn about the time cops.
Oh, do you know what? Hopefully we do get some time cops in future shows, actually. Like, that'll be a nice little tie-in that's not like, you know, Small World Syndrome, but I think that'll be a good idea.
As long as they explain to me why Janeway is not in temporal prison for doing what she did.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But why Course Oblivion, though, over... I'm just trying to think that... Is it essential? Is it like a don't miss episode?
They both are, but I will capitulate and go with Relativity because I do really like that show, that episode.
But I want Course Oblivion. But,
so now we're switching?
Do you know what we would be? Bloody terrible lawyers. That's what we would be. It's like, oh, actually, I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to defend my client, but
he's guilty.
But he's totally guilty. I believe this.
No, he's not. You've convinced me he's innocent.
It's like, no, he's actually guilty. I think we should settle this and go for. I'm going to stick with Relativity, I think.
Okay, I will go with Relativity as well.
This is our don't miss a timey-wimey episode for Relativity. Yes. So, I mean, I suppose, yeah, I'm going to Relativity. Okay. Cool. So now this is where things start getting really, really hard, but...
Yes.
And I'm wondering what avenue you're going to go down.
I went first last time, didn't I?
I don't remember. I don't think it matters, does it? I don't know.
What did you go with?
I went with Blink of an Eye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that episode that much.
It wasn't going to be, honestly, my first choice. But I thought, because my first choice, I think, is Dragon's Teeth. But then I look at it and I'm like, oh, but it really is just a good Star Trek style episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, yeah, because it's been done before.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. It is a bit of a cop out, isn't it? All right, what did you choose?
I went with Riddles.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna have to tell me why, because this is just another Tuvok screwed up in his head episode.
I know, but we actually get to see the range that Tim Russ has, which we don't get to see. We get to see his acting ability in this episode, and also the relationship that comes out of that with Neelix being a caretaker for him.
A caretaker?
I know, that's why I had to say caretaker.
Oh, I just don't. I can't know. No, that's just... I just don't care for that episode.
That is very Star Trek, because then he's like remembering and he puts it in the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sure, but it's just no... It's just... Eh?
Yeah, I can't go with blink of an eye. I just can't.
You just can't?
Because it's a trope.
It's a trope. All right, I'll bow down to that, but I can't go for riddles.
Okay.
I just can't. I'm just like,
And I will... No Dragon's Teeth, no.
Oh, my God. Oh, I forgot. Right, okay. Fine. Listeners...
Tinker, Tenor, Dr. Spy.
Spirit Folk.
I will kill you.
Actually, do you know what?
Survival Instinct.
Oh, That's the corn episode now.
Oh, it is the corn episode.
Do you know what? I'm going to go Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy. Because I won't let you have riddles. You won't let me have blink of an eye. Or dragon's teeth. So, Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy with the emergency command hologram and
his magical pips.
Yeah, it's just a fun episode. And isn't that when we got the whole Tuvok, I understand? Is that episode as well?
You are a Vulcan man.
I'm fairly sure.
I believe so.
Oh,
it
God.
has to be.
Oh, Liam has to Google this. Tuvok, I understand. You
To
are
the
a
Google.
Vulcan man.
Did you know that episode was originally titled The Secret Life of Neelix, and it was supposed to be about Neelix's daydreams?
I do not want to see what Neelix's daydreams are about at
That
all.
is so funny.
What? Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
Tuvok, I understand. You are a Vulcan man.
You have just gone without.
It was Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy. Okay, we do get that song, and that sums up the whole entire Doctor. So, okay, I'm going to be down. We're going to just pick out. We are going to do that episode because I am not letting you have riddles at all, and apparently I'm not allowed the tropey ones, and I am not choosing things like Alice or, Pathfinder or Virtuoso or Muse. So, yes, fine. Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy it is. This one has come out of the woodwork. We have got a weird eclectic mix of episodes here. All right. You're going to go for Shattered for season 7, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well,
yes, I am, because it is chef's kiss. Perfection.
No.
Oh, dude.
Well, I went for The Void. Other than a perfection, why not worst case scenario? Why?
It goes back to worst case scenario.
Yes, I know it has Seska in it. But your reason for having Seska was done in worst case scenario.
Okay.
I mean, Shattered, yes, is generally a great episode.
We get future Naomi, future Icheb. We find out.
Oh, future Icheb is dead.
And at that point, he wasn't. Because he was still in the Delta Quadrant. And Janeway and Chakotay were dead at that point. We also get to see Chakotay win over Captain Janeway. Season 1, Captain Janeway.
That's
Very
true.
quickly. It's like how she sensed it about him and talk about their friendship, and she knows where he hides the cider.
But it's just another time period episode.
But it's a very JC heavy episode.
Okay, so the reason I chose The Void, right, is because they're stuck in some kind of spatial something or other with a whole bunch of other people that are also stuck, and they end up working together to get out of it, like a mini federation. And they've got Jonathan Delarco as Fantome, and
Is that why you're choosing this episode?
I mean,
it doesn't hurt.
It is. It's not going to hurt, no. But that is not why I'm choosing this as an essential viewing episode. I'm choosing it as an essential viewing episode because it is the word epitomize. Like, it epitomizes Star Trek and Janeway and her command. Like, steadfast and stuck to her principles and that kind of thing.
But with Shattered, you can see pieces of seasons that you missed by only having this list. You get to see full-on Borg 7.
Yeah.
You get to see angry Maquis B'Elanna.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You get some JC. Do we get Kazon in it? I can't remember now. Maybe
there has to be Kazon because Seska was
Kazon time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Can we go workforce?
Just stab me in the heart right now.
What about friendship 1? No. This is tricky. This is very tricky. Listeners, what would you do right now? The Void or Shattered?
Shattered.
Oh. Okay, we'll go Shattered.
Shattered. Yay!
We'll do it. We'll do Shattered. All right. So, Suzanne.
Yes.
Apparently, and I'm not sure anyone will agree with us on this list because, I mean, we have missed out some serious episodes.
We have, yes.
But apparently, one episode, absolute must-see from each of them for, I wouldn't say necessarily essential viewing based on what we've got. But is Season 1, Faces. Season 2, Meld. Season 3, Worst Case Scenario. Season 4, The Killing Game. Season 5, Relativity. Season 6, Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy. And Season 7, Shattered.
Season 6, oh man.
It's, okay, if we look at this logically...
Which we are not.
We've got a B'Elanna episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a Tuvok episode. We've got a sort of Everyone episode. Another Everyone episode. A Seven episode. A Doctor episode. And a JC sort of episode. I mean, it does... And there is some... action with Shattered in the Killing Game, and there is some character stuff with Meld and Faces, and there is some funny with Tinker Tenor Dr. Spy, and there is some dodgy science, I guess, in Shattered and Relativity. So I suppose we have covered the broad range of what Star Trek is all about, of Voyager specifically. Yeah, maybe not necessarily the pompous style things that some Star Trek shows have. I think that episode is done, Suzanne. What do you think?
It is, yes.
Well, it's been fun talking about episodes from each season today that are must-watch, even though I don't think some of them are must-watch, and you all probably think the same as me. But it isn't the only thing we've been discussing on this network, so here's a quick look at some of the other things you may have missed elsewhere on Trek FM.
Previously on Trek.fm, Literary Treks.
Not wanting to be spoiled about this book, I would suggest then not listening now, read the book, and then come back later, and then you can enjoy the whole freaking feature of this glorious analysis that we're going to give this.
I shot JR. Sorry, I thought we were getting into spoilers. My bad.
I don't know. I just woke up from a dream. I was in the shower.
The Orb.
But if you think about the fact that Sisko is with the Prophets at this time, and Section 31 is going to try to kill the Prophets, maybe that's a way for Sisko to re-enter the story and play his role in representing the Prophets to overturn what Section 31 is trying to do, and to champion that idea of Druidic, and end the season with that message that religion is fine for those who want to believe it, and it's also fine for you not to believe it.
Earl Grey.
One of my notes I made on this episode is that Riker is a cosplayer. He likes to put on the native costumes of the planets he goes to.
Yes.
I have started making a Riker Angel 1 cosplay. Ewan wants it for SLB. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yes! That was one of my notes as well, was Riker's left nipple.
Doesn't leave much to the imagination, but yeah.
To the journey!
Quick snap poll. Suzanne, would you prefer Neelix to cook for you or Chell?
Chell.
Chell? Zach, Neelix or Chell?
Neelix.
Oh. Oh.
I see Leola root in your future. Lots of it.
Oh, yeah. Give me those exotic ingredients. Yes.
Chell is my man.
I mean, you can have with Chell, you can get all those puns pun food items that he made.
Exactly, it would be like Bob's Burgers in space.
Wow.
And that's what else is happening on Trek.fm.
So check out all these shows and join the conversation about your favourite corner of the Star Trek universe and beyond. You'll find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you're an Apple user, be sure to hit the subscribe button in Apple Podcasts on iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, or the desktop podcasts app to get the latest episodes as soon as they are published. And please leave us a star rating and written review. It does help us find more listeners. If you're an Apple user, we've got you... If you're not an Apple user, rather... I don't know what I'm saying. We have got you covered as well. You can find our shows on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and most third-party apps, and you can stream and download the MP3 file from our website or grab the RSS link.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's show, and there are many ways for you to do that. The best place to join in the larger conversation is the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook. Just type Babel into the search field, and it'll come right up. If you'd like to send us an email, you can use the form on our website at trek.fm/contact. Choose message to a Trek.fm show and select to the journey. You can also find the network on Twitter at TrekFM and on Facebook at facebook.com/TrekFM. Well, Liam, now that you have that song stuck in your head for the rest of the day...
Oh my god, you're going to leave that in, aren't you?
Where can our listeners find you?
Are you going to leave that whistling in?
I am leaving the whistling in.
It's not even good. Oh.
Well, seeing as how I can't whistle, it's pretty good.
Well... You can find me on Twitter at LS74656. You can find me on the Babel Conference, but you can also find me on the Nexus, the We Made Treks listeners group on Facebook. And you'll also find me on that network there doing another show, which I can't say yes because I think this show comes out before The Edge, where we announce what we're doing there. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, please, and as I say, have a listen to We Made Treks. When you're not ironing out the creases in Durst's face so you can magically put it on yours, where can we find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. My handle's KateJaneway8. You can also find me on a certain podcast network called We Made Treks, where I'm hosting The Janeway along with Liam. But I'm also hosting Boldly Go, a Strange New Worlds podcast with Brandy Jackala. So please join us over there. We'd like to thank our associate producers, Bruce Lish, Richard Marquez, Patrick Carlin, and Norman Lau. Thank you for your continued support of Trek FM and To the Journey.
Join us next time where we will have our final episode of the show. But until then, this has been To the Journey.